So in this problem, Tyler asks Claire to pick a number and then follow 5 steps. At the end of it, she gets a result of -3, and based on that, Tyler tells her your number was 3. We're going to prove how Tyler knew the number was 3. The way we're going to do that is with algebra. As algebra students, we want to represent the world algebraically. So to do that, we're going to start with the very first thing we know is that Claire picks a number, and we don't know what it is, so we're going to define the variable. So I'll say let x equal Claire's number. Now that we have that established, we can apply the steps that Claire applied to the value. So we start with Claire's number. We're going to triple it, so 3 times x. Once we have that result, we have to subtract 7. So we triple the number and then subtract 7 from it. And when we've done that, we then have to double the result. So to show that, we're going to put parentheses around the 3x minus 7, because we have to do all of that first. And then we're going to multiply it by 2. Once we've doubled that amount, we're then going to subtract 22. So there's the first 4 steps. The last step is to take the amount and divide it by 6. And when we've done that, the result that Claire had was -3. So we've come up with an equation, and with this equation we can now solve for x. We can work backwards and find out what the missing value is, and hopefully it'll be 3. So let's start with the numerator. We've got the 2 times the quantity 3x minus 7. We need to double 3x minus 7. So when we double everything in the parentheses, we end up with 6x minus 14. And we've got our minus 22. All of that's divided by 6. And it equals -3. We can still simplify the numerator with the -14 minus 22. So that's 6x minus 36 divided by 6 equals -3. I can't simplify anything else really in the numerator at this point. There's no like terms. But we are dividing the numerator by 6. And we can undo that division with multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 6. And when we simplified that, we're left with 6x minus 36 equals -18. We're only a couple steps away now from the answer. We're going to isolate the variable. So to do that, we're going to add 36 to both sides to maintain balance. I'm left with 6x equals 18. So 6 times something is 18. If I divide that by 6 and do the multiplication, I end up with x equals 3. That's the number that Claire picked, and that's what Tyler was able to calculate. So the equation we have up at the top works. And you could have a friend or family member pick a number and use the same steps that Claire did, and you could use this equation and calculate the number that they guessed too.